Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Matcha Tarot. I hope that you guys are all doing great on this Monday evening. If you happen to pop in now, if you happen to watch at a different time, I hope that everything's going great with you. Hope that the new year has been off to a good start for you guys and all that good stuff. Taking care of yourselves, getting rest, all those different things. All of those things are very important. So with that said, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you like what you see here and decide to stick around and hit that notification bell, subscribe, all that good stuff, and hit the like button as well. And in the chat, send some reactions and things of that nature to help connect with the channel, help connect with me, help connect with the other viewers as well. And if you have been rocking with your girl for a bit already, welcome back and thank you for the continued support. Um, Greatly appreciate you guys. So without further ado, I won't go on my long spiels like I typically do in the beginning of my readings. Try to, keep it moving, right? Smooth sailing. So as you guys saw in the title, this message, and to be completely honest with you, I don't expect this reading to even get a lot of traction just because of the fact that the topic is not as like entertaining, if you will, as some other things that I might look into. This one is definitely for the more spiritual folks who are trying to learn more about their abilities and things like that, and try to heighten that and strengthen it. So like I said, I don't necessarily expect for a lot of people to pop up in this reading, but I'm still gonna look into it because I felt guided to by spirit. I was like, damn, I want to read, but I don't know what I want to read about. I was like, I'm just gonna let spirit guide me on this one. And lo and behold, we are going to look into spiritual gifts. So for those of you again who feel inclined to be able to say that you feel like you're more on the spiritual realm as well, or you're trying to learn more about it and how it works and things like that, or things about yourself within yourself that you're trying to learn more about so that you can actually utilize those gifts, or I would say utilize them and be able to do something more effective with them. We'll see what pops up in this reading for you guys. So spirit, only let positive energy into this reading for the collective. Show the collective what they need to see at this time for their highest good. Clear some most accurate messages, please, and thank you. So let's see what's going on. I'm going to do some shuffling first. Okay, spirits, get some clear and accurate messages for the collective about understanding more about their spiritual gifts. What do they need to know at this time? Couple more shuffles. Thank you, Spirit. All right. Ooh, that's a good one. I really like this one because I happen to be clairaudient myself. So some of you guys who end up resonating with this message, we have learned about clairaudience. It says hearing helpful words and full sentences is the rare psychic pathway. A wise, gentle voice speaking in your head is different than an intuitive thought or your own inner dialogue. Don't experience clairaudience. Listen to what others say. Even lines from movies or overheard in the gross. Wow, can't get my words out. Something about the throat chakra too. I get that maybe some of you guys have this gift right here of clairaudience and you don't know how to use it, and then you don't know how to like confirmation as my phone just went off. You don't know how to explain it to people because people might look at you like you're crazy and you don't want to sound like you're crazy. I'm getting like something like that. So some of you guys might keep this under wraps. I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. But yeah, it says even lines from movies or overheard in the grocery aisle, that may be divine guidance. So pay attention to like when you hear like something in your ear, like not like in a schizophrenic way, but like if you hear like phrases or words, things in a loop, things like that. It happens a lot for a lot of people who are clairaudient. Buzzing in your ear, things like that might be something to pay attention to. different things. It affects everybody in a different way, but clairaudience is definitely one of those things that are a very cool gift, and some of you guys might have it. And again, some of you guys might be like afraid to like talk about it or showcase it because you're like, I don't know, like people are gonna think something's wrong with me or I'm crazy. And you know, I myself, I've had that particular gift since I was little, and I I didn't tell anybody about it. I was like, something's got to be wrong. Something's not right. I mean, I got a few screws loose, but not for that reason. So it's like some of you guys might have clairaudience, and that's pretty cool. So start trusting that a little bit more. Don't be afraid of it. Even things like, you know, this kind of goes like to directly to like third eye chakra too. Like let's say if you hear in your mind's eye or see in your mind's eye, like, because I'm seeing this, like you're something tells you to go a different route, or you hear something telling you like go a different route at like going to work or something like that. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Um, maybe I shouldn't go that way, and it could be because of clairaudience, and it's because it's an intuitive gift that's helping keep you safe. So let me know if that resonates with any of you guys in the comments. Or like if it's not in terms of clairaudience, it could just be like an inkling that you're feeling, like something's telling you, like your gut instinct or something like that, or something in your head's telling you, I don't think I should go that way. Like that might be something that happens. Spirit wanted me to make sure I pointed that out as well. All right, so let's get like maybe 3 or 4 cards from here, and then we'll look into some other stuff. I also have like stuff about like connecting with spirit animals here and connecting with ancestors, because some of us, I feel, might have gotten gifts from our those before us too. All right, so what do we have? We have alert, intuition, growth spurts. I like that. You are currently experiencing a general increase in your intuitive ability or gaining access to a new psychic pathway. I like that. Just like physical growth spurts you experienced as a child, an an intuition growth. I feel like intuitive sounds better. Intuitive growth spurt sounds better. May seem awkward or uncomfortable, yes, at first, but you'll soon adjust. Sensitivity exists on a spectrum, and as your abilities shift. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. So for some of you who are resonating with this, or who will end up resonating with this like later down the line, like people come in at another time, some of you guys might resonate with the idea that if you know that you have some gifts yourselves, you feel like maybe a little bit out of the loop. You feel a little bit like you might be waking up at, I'm getting a lot of different downloads, so bear with me, but I'm getting like waking up a lot, like around 3 or 4 in the morning, headaches, issues with the tummy, um, a lot of stuff along those lines. Like a lot of people who, if you believe in this kind of stuff, when you're upgrading, so to speak, you will start to feel physical ailments as you're kind of you're you're heightening in certain areas in terms of your gifts, and then in the process of that, you're kind of having to kind of release and shed away things that are not really good for you. So your body will kind of react and show and tell you like the things that are not really working for you. So prime example, like I could use myself as an example actually. Um, when I go through this, I tend to get like really, really sick, like the flu and all kind of stuff. And in the process of like getting, that kind of stuff, like I'll go to the doctor, they're like, there's nothing wrong with you, what are you talking about? And it's like hold on one second, guys. Thank you for helping my channel, by the way. You're like #1 on here. Good job. Should be so proud. Let's see, there we go. And there we go. So with that said, again, like your body will go through like physical ramifications sometimes during that like upgrade process. So headaches and just feeling like out of sorts. And as you accept what's happening, that's when you kind of start to feel different. You feel better. Things heighten. Your senses are be like through the roof. You're gonna be like, what the hell? Like it feels a little bit off-putting at first because it's like you don't know what it means, and you're like, why do I feel like this? Why is this happening? And as you start to just like allow yourself to, actually like own it, own what it is that you have going on, because we all technically have gifts, every single one of us, you know and a lot of people, they write things off as, oh, it's just, a coincidence and this and that. Like, no. Like, when there are those things happening within yourself and you can't explain it, it's not just a mere coincidence. It's deeper than that. And it's okay to allow yourself to, figure that part of yourself out and explore it. I happen to believe in a higher power, God, whatever you want to call it. And I do feel like God puts us all on this planet to help each other in different ways, and some of us use our spiritual gifts to do that, um, in different ways, right? So, take from that what you will, but we all definitely have different gifts already. It's just about if we want to heighten those gifts and learn more about them so that we can actually utilize them. So, just like how they say we only use what is it, 10% of our brain or something like that. Think about it like that. Like, the people who can access more of their brain, they probably have psychic abilities more cases than not. And the more you allow yourself to branch out and open up those parts of your mind, your body, you get to actually see it in action. So Spirit wanted me to give you that mouthful. That's a lot. All right. We have rise above for eagle perspective. The eagle spirit. I was just talking about spirit animals. You can't make this shit up. The eagle spirit animal invites you above the treetops so you can see the whole expansive forest. Create healthy distance from a person, group, issue, opinion, stance, emotion, or situation by viewing the broader perspective while gliding on the broad wingspan of the eagle. Enhance your intuition by contemplating the entire landscape in multiple perspectives. That's a big one. Seeing things from different perspectives, right? Not just the our viewpoint that we just see here, seeing things from a bigger and deeper perspective. I feel like a lot of us, all of us really, we're all like taught different things, in our lives as we're growing up and stuff like that, and those are the things that we keep with us. But if we stay stuck in those belief systems and things like that and don't allow ourselves to question things a little bit, be a skeptic. That's okay. Being a skeptic is great. Excuse me. It allows for you to be able to have your own opinions and be able to have your own free will, your free mind, right? Free your mind and the rest will follow. It's like some of you guys might be En Vogue fans, but that's a big one, to be able to have a world view of stuff versus just oh, here I am in this little bubble and I don't ever allow myself to see other things, other belief systems, other so on and so forth. Um, get comfortable with being uncomfortable is what I'm kind of getting. Stepping out of your comfort zone is going to be a big part of this journey for you guys. Those of you who are on that spiritual journey and learning more about yourself in that way. All right, let's get like maybe two more from here, and then we're going to dive deeper. Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, this also comes with my favorite number, 13. It's about death and rebirth. All right, so we have cultivate energy awareness. Improving your intuition requires understanding energy exactly, its power, its proximity, its nuances, and its importance. Notice energy, your own, the energy of the individuals around you and in groups, the energy of situations and opportunities, the energy of physical spaces, and the fluctuations in world energy. Name and describe types of energy you encounter. That's very important. That's a big one. Yes. Being able to have that sense of intuition and discernment of knowing the energy around you, um, and being able to know which energy is yours and what energy belongs to other people, because you don't want to absorb that. You want to be able to know which one is which, and how to, harness that energy in a positive way. So let's say you're around people who are like-minded and positive individuals. You can learn from each other, because we all should be able to learn from each other, right? Um, when you have a good social circle and things like that, and you're in groups that actually help you elevate and grow, it's a beautiful thing to be able to encounter that. But when you're around people who just bring your energy level down, and you'll know the difference. And that's where, again, that's where discernment comes in. That's when intuition comes in. We are all given those gifts. It's just a matter of if we want to actually harness them, and hold ourselves accountable too, um, when it comes to utilizing that. So just being very mindful of how we pick up on those energies around us. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Those of you who might be, for instance, empaths. It's a good example, actually. Empaths. Empaths pick up on everything, every energy around, like in a room or anything like that. They know. If somebody, they know if somebody has physical ailments when they walk into a room. They know if somebody is sick. They know if somebody is positive, uplifting energy. They know if somebody is like down on their luck. Like they feel it, and it's a kind of cool gift, actually. Um, so with that said, it's very, very important to be able to, again, protect your energy, harness your energy in a way that's going to be substantial for yourself, for your growth, for, again, your protection, a big one. We hear it all the time, right? Protect your energy. Very important. We all should be doing that, just in general. Don't let anybody come in with negative energy and bring you down, right? Pulling you down. And also being mindful of the energy we put out there as well. One thing with me, like if my energy is ever off, like I let people know. Like, I'm not where I would like to be right now. I'm in a little bit of a funk right now, and I don't want to put that out off onto anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I try to always be in a high energy and positive energy. But I am human. So there are those moments. Like, I work with kids at my main job, and whew, it could be rough. Because I have to always be upbeat, and my students in particular, they have autism and other different developmental disabilities. And one thing with any child, really, because they're so innocent, like they feel that energy. So if they know that they don't like somebody, oh, I've seen kids go off on people, like a new staff or something, or like a staff that like they're not familiar with, and beat their ass. I've seen it. And then I come in and I kind of save the day, and they're just like, oh, okay, she's like a breath of fresh air. I could be in a different room and they're just like, whoa. And I'm not like bragging or anything, I'm just being honest. So there's been so many times where I had to sub in another room, and they're like, oh, I want her to sub in my room like every time I need staff if I'm down. But with that said, the energy that we put out, we have to also be very cautious and mindful of that as well. So I'm definitely picking up on some empath energy for some reason. There's definitely going to be somebody, at least one person, who this resonates with, who's going to be able to say, yeah, that's me. That's my energy. um, I haven't really been reading the messages because I know how people are. They come in here with their negative energy and, their hoopla. So I purposely haven't really been reading the messages, but I do see someone said, hi, do your readings come with a guarantee? No, they do not. Any reader who says that they guarantee anything is a liar. I will say that. um, no. And they like I said, they should never try to say that, because that's bullshit. I'm telling you that right now. As a reader, and a good one at that, I can tell you right now that's bullshit. Just saying. All right. See? Look at that. We just talked about this a little while ago, like a little bit earlier in the reading. Expect heightened sensitivity. Yes, yes, yes. I already kind of said that. Expect to receive more intuitive guidance via your feeling or clear sentient psychic pathway now, and that comes in different forms. Clear sentience is about what you feel outside yourself, so it's kind of like empathic energy. Um, like feeling other people's emotions as your own, exactly. Easily sensing the energy of spaces or experiencing physical intuitive sensations like chills. This temporary shift helps you navigate change. Your sixth sense, third eye, is supporting you during a transition phase. You cannot make this up even if you wanted to. Okay? This is literally going right back to what I just said. When you are picking up on the energies and stuff around you, and, how you hone in on that, and making sure that your energy is intact too, you know. So meditation is a great way. Meditation brings answers. Um, one of my favorite decks. That's one of the cards in there. I like could see it. That's why I said it. Meditation brings answers. But yeah, definitely along those lines. So a big thing here that I'm picking up on is people who, again, if this message is for you and resonates, because this is for meant for people who want to learn more about their abilities, because we all have them. It's just a matter of wanting to use them. Um, you don't need to have to pay a gazillion readers or psychics for readings and shit like no. Like a lot of stuff is already there, but you might not trust your own self enough to be able 21 when I said that, to be able to, you know, put those abilities and all that to the test. You got to trust yourself more is what I'm kind of picking up on. Ironically enough, I decided to look on the bottom of the deck. I haven't looked at the bottom of the deck yet, but this card, for some reason, I felt like I was picking up on something, so I'm happy I looked. Witness and observe. Yeah, exactly. Shield yourself by witnessing others instead of absorbing all their energy and emotions. Engage your claircognizant, which goes back to what I was saying before, or intellectual psychic pathway by observing the world with curiosity and detachment. Exactly. It's okay to like pay attention and stuff, but don't absorb everything. That's where you have to be mindful. Create healthy emotional space between yourself and others and between yourself and your emotions. Practice neutrality and maintain sensible energetic boundaries. That's a good one. I like that. Boundaries. Let's get one more from here. And then, excuse me, we're going to dive a little bit deeper because I have a few different decks out here. Tell us more. Ooh, two. All right, what we got? What do we got? That's a good one. Avoid numbing out. You may be overwhelmed or overstimulated lately or stressed out and emotional, causing you to feel drained and anxious. Exactly. That's why I kept saying be mindful of the energy around you that you allow in. Instead of numbing out and checking out with shopping, binge watching, or alcohol, employ more engaging, healthy ways of helping your sensitive nervous system catch a break. Don't numb out your sixth sense. In other words, what I'm kind of getting here is the main message I'm picking up on that one is the fact that despite how sometimes, especially like I was saying, some of you guys might be like kind of in that process of like upgrading, if you will. Like those of you who believe in all this stuff and this is actually resonating with you, like there are these things like on a spiritual level where you upgrade and it does have physical ramifications, and it does cause a sense of angst sometimes for some, myself included, honestly. So don't numb that by drinking excessively or any of those kind of things. Making sure that you're still taking care of your physical vessel and all those important factors. We also have glean possibilities, not predictions. Use your sixth sense, third eye, to explore your options regarding an issue. While some relationships and experiences may be faded, many more are dynamic, involving greater choice, flexibility, understanding free will versus fate, very important, flexibility and freedom. Life happens organically due to collective shifts and individual free will. They're connected. It's all connected. Not everything can be predicted. Co create the future by taking calculated, healthy risks. I can definitely dig that because at the end of the day, you know, we do have to like that's why when someone just was asking, "Oh, are your readings guaranteed?" Like, no, we have free will. So if I give you a reading, for instance, right? And let's say it's a love reading, just using this as an example. If I give you a love reading and I say, so and so, they do have an interest in you, they want to come back, but they're not sure if they want to come back because of fear, of rejection, or whatever. They got a third party, whatever, right? 25, as I'm saying this. It could be possible that they might want to come back, but the whole point is they have free will. Are they going to actually do it? I cannot predict that. These cards can't predict that either. So anybody who says that they can guarantee anything when it comes to readings is silly, and they're probably a liar. Just saying. Because while I do believe fate is a thing, there is also free will. So I do feel like we are presented with options in life and opportunities. This is just my opinion. We're presented with options and opportunities in life, and it's up to us to make the best judgment call. And that can have a big time um, ramification on the outcome of something. So, is anything ever sealed and set in stone? No, never. So, again, if anybody ever tells you that, they're a fucking liar. um, I'm gonna read this card here on the bottom, and then I'm gonna start pulling from other decks. Declutter your mind, home, or schedule. Organize. This is on the bottom. Organize a tidy, or sorry, and tidy your living or workspace. Quiet your mind for light house cleaning in your head. Free a room in your schedule so you aren't giving away all of your energy to others. Declutter your life to make space for your intentions and intuition. I like that. Less can often be more. Simplify and streamline. So simplifying our lives by, letting things go that don't serve us anymore, right? Old ways of thinking, old patterns, and so on and so forth. Like what is it that spirit has been kind of pushing you to kind of release and let go of already? You'll know. It's gonna be different for everybody. So just use your intuition on that. But hence the point of this reading, right? Let's see. Where do I want to go with this? I feel drawn to these, so I'm gonna go with these. Wisdom of the House of Night. I haven't used these in a while. This is a good deck though. A lot of cool messages from this one. It kind of might give us like a little bit of insight behind the scenes of what some of you guys might have been encountering that has kind of brought you here in the first place. Like trying to learn more about yourself in this regard, especially if this is a new part of your journey or you're already in the journey, but just trying to figure out a little bit more of what's happening currently. So I'm going to shuffle a couple more times. And let's see what Spirit has to say. Lust. Interesting. So there might be some type of like hidden desires or something like that. And they want you to be mindful of that. Like I'm getting like, otherworldly kind of things that might be kind of hindering growth when it comes to the spiritual journey or your spiritual gifts. So just be mindful of that. It's very interesting because we were talking about like numbing and stuff like that. Like don't numb your, you know, yourself by partaking in things that are meant to kind of steer you in a wrong direction. I'm kind of getting very interesting. Wasn't expecting to see that card, but let's see what Spirit has to say. Let's get some more messages. Let's get maybe 3 from here because I guess I have a few decks out already. I want to make sure I pull at least 1 or 2 cards from each one. Rigid. Yeah. So you guys are stubborn. 29, as I say that. You guys are fucking stubborn. I am too, so I get it. I think some of you guys, and it makes sense because, like, remember I was saying, those of you who came in a little bit earlier, I was saying how, like, I'm picking up in this energy of individuals who they have these gifts, right? But they don't know how to talk about it with anybody. They don't have anybody who they trust because they feel like they're going to be judged and things like that. And then it's like it puts people in a weird space. And you might be seeing the number three a lot. Let me know if that's the case. Like 33333 might be a life path number three. Um, I just heard three is the magic number from Schoolhouse Rock, showing my age with that one. Um, but yeah, so yeah, point being though, it's okay to be explorative, especially when it comes to yourself and your growth and where you're trying to head right now, right? Like being stuck and stagnant and not allowing yourself to grow and change, like that can have um, a negative impact, and it can definitely hinder this part of the process for you. So just be mindful of those things. I'm definitely getting an influence of like family dynamics and stuff like that, friends, especially family though. Stuff that stems like really far back, like childhood. Oath. Like you might feel like you owe somebody something. Like oh, you have to do things this way, or you have to be like this, you have to be like that. Maybe feel a little bit of shame or guilt if you don't, live up to the standards that are kind of bestowed upon you and your family and things like that. Especially if you, come from more of a religious background. And I'm not saying it like in a negative way. Hey Queen, what's up? Love you, girl. Yeah, so like if you come from a background that's a little bit more, traditional, for instance. And I get it because I kind of do too myself. But you have these gifts and you're like, well, something just seems off. You guys are telling me one thing, but I feel something completely different. And it's like, and the proof be in the pudding, like you like certain things happen in your life and you're like, this is not a mere fucking coincidence. This is something different. This is something bigger than that. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than you. Right? It's like, and again, it goes back to what I was saying. It's like, we all have spiritual gifts, technically. All of us do. And it's like, unfortunately, a lot of us are not allowed to really hone in on them or feel shame or guilt for doing so because we feel like we're turning our backs on, the church or family or whatever, tradition, so on and so forth. And it's like, I mean, do you guys, I just lost a few viewers just from saying that because I'm speaking the truth. That's the thing. That's the sad part. Like people, they don't want to accept things for what it is. They'll come on here for some guidance, but then when they hear the real truth, then that's when they skedaddle out, which is fine because I want this to reach the right people. I don't need, I don't care about numbers. I care about people actually getting something out of the reading. That's what I care about. Hi, Sergio. How are you? From Brazil. Nice. I happen to have some Portuguese blood too. I'm from Cape Verde. Well, I'm not from Cape Verde, but my dad's family is from Cape Verde, so we're kind of, connected there. But yeah, like I was saying before, you owe it to yourself to be able to be authentic and real, right? And it's okay to sometimes stray from the path that, your past has made you stay on, if that makes any sense. Sometimes it's okay to be able to be like, you know what? That's just not for me. And that's okay. Nothing negative to say about the other people or anything like that. Just the fact that, it's a different setup, right? What's good for the goose ain't always good for the gander. Yeah, and this is where free will comes in. Choices, individuality. As I say individual, oh my God. No fucking way. Literally, as I said, individuality, what freaking pops up? And you guys heard me shuffling the cards. I don't know what the other cards are with it, but what the hell pops up? Individuality. Literally, as I said the word, and the cards like stopped, moving as I was shuffling, the ones that were meant to come out. Individuality. You can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. Where are my girls at? Lati and Aya, my other fellow readers. Oh my God, that's so crazy. And then look what's with it. Okay. Yo, this is giving me chills. And I can't, like, I can believe it, but I can't believe it all at the same time. Oh my God, what is the timestamp here? About 34 minutes in. I gotta keep that as a mental note. Oh my gosh. So what came out with that was obedience. Exactly. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation of everything I just said. And you're helping streamline it by putting these cards out like this. Yes, that's exactly it. Like, you guys, you're trying to branch, or you would like to branch out from, what has been put onto you, belief systems and shit like that. And you're like, but I have to remain obedient. And that makes you feel stuck. And then, like, you kind of, you're longing almost for being able to be that person that you're trying to be or you want to be. And then sometimes you might even feel a little bit invisible in the process. That's crazy. Whenever I say a word and then the word or a card comes out exactly like at the same time, that shit's so creepy to me. Like, I know it happens all the time, but it's like, what? If you guys want to go back about 2 minutes, you'll see what I'm talking about. Those of you who came later, like, oh my God, and lust is here again. Like, there is this energy of longing for something, really wanting something so bad, but like, you want it so bad you could taste it, but you're like, I don't know if I should, because of loyalty. Wow. So we have obedience, loyalty, oath. So it's and a lot of this is more so outside of yourself in most of the cases, right? But it is so important to be, loyal to yourself. The fledgling, yeah, this is like, you're branching out, you're doing something different. The number here is 1. So it's like, you might be, some of you might feel like you're like in your baby stages of this whole process with this spiritual journey, or working on your spiritual gifts and heightening them and strengthening them. But holy crap, that really messed with me just now. I have to remember that timestamp, because wow, about 34 minutes in, the fact that as I'm saying a word, the card came out with the same exact word, like, that's crazy. Again, it's one of those things that happens often. Queen will tell you it happens often, but it's like, oh my goodness, what? Beauty, along with, okay, got 3 cards. All right, I like that. We have beauty here. So seeing the beauty in your gifts, right? Like, not feeling guilty for, who you are, and being an individual, and having a free mind and free will. We have belonging. I'm getting that some of you guys, as you find beauty in this process, you kind of will come across like your soul tribe. You'll come across people who are like-minded individuals who you really resonate with, and that's going to be something that's going to really allow for that growth and that expansion. And it's time to listen to that inner voice, and then we did talk about, we picked up on a very clear message of some of you guys having clairaudience. And again, that's like the gift of hearing. So hearing, messages that might come in the form of many different things. It could be in the form of lyrics and songs, it could be phrases, it could be just a word, but you hear it a lot. It could be buzzing, it could be a lot of different things. For different people. For me, it usually comes in the form of songs, keywords, like in a loop almost. Like, I would just keep hearing the same phrase over and over again, stuff like that. But everybody's different. Especially if you're like a medium or something, you might hear like legit voices. Like, I don't have that. That's a whole different ball game right there. Mediumship, that's I feel like I have portions of that gift, but I'm not quite there yet, and I don't think my spirit guides think I'm ready for that. So it comes and goes. It like trickles back and forth. Like, there's been times where I've communicated with like relatives, but I don't see them. I feel them. I confirm things by like having them like touch something or move something in the room. But like, even that, I'd be like, okay, this is kind of crazy. Okay, I'm all done. It gets a little bit scary, but yeah, but don't be. That's the whole point, though, and that's what I think. What spirit's kind of trying to like, get to on that part that I just said. Don't be afraid of your gifts. Yes, it could be a little bit creepy, or like for those of you who know, and it's like you'd be like, "Fuck, I don't understand what's going on here. I don't know if I like this shit." Like I have friends with some, like, when I say crazy gifts, I mean like in a good way. I have friends who literally are walking with spirits like all the time, good spirits at that, and it's like that person is Lati. I hope she pops in at some point tonight. But yeah, like, and then other friends who have other gifts too, and it's like, holy shit, when I hear their gifts, I'm like, what? I mean, I feel like I pale in comparison. Like, I mean, there's no comparison, but like, because it's not a competition, right? But when I hear some of my friends' gifts, especially because some of them are a little bit more into the journey than I am, like a little bit further into it, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. Like, wow. But yeah, crazy. That I love that, Queen. I love that. I love that. Let's get one more from here, as if I really need another message from here, because I think we really, really got something there. Oh, thank you, Queen. So are you. You are such a sweetheart and a godsend. Love you. Absolutely. Simply the best, better than all the rest. Confidence. Yes. And what does it say? I thought that says search. It says something else. It's like a character from a thing that I don't know anything about, so I'm not gonna really try to pronounce that. But like with me not having my glasses on and then lighting, it looked like it said search. Almost like I'm getting like search for the confidence within. Um, Not seeking validation outside of self. Like when you're able to own that shit and be confident in your abilities and what you're doing with those abilities, like that is, yes. Look what's on the bottom of the fucking deck. High Priestess of Air. Some of you might have air in your chart somewhere, but yeah, there's definitely something strong about the gift of like thought and the way you process things. I'm definitely getting something kind of going along with like third eye / crown chakra energy. This is what I'm picking up on. Some of you guys might like that show. What is it called? Airbender. I don't really know anything about that, but I did just hear it. But I'm getting something like that. I'm also getting like maybe Pisces energy. I know that's water, but I don't know why I'm picking up on Pisces for some reason. Let me know if that resonates for anybody in the comments. Um, Maybe some of you guys feel connected to water. Interesting. All right, let's see. I think I'm going to dive into the tarot now. And I love the fact that even when I take these cards out, I haven't used these cards in months. But first card here on the bottom of the deck before we even really do anything is the Fool. That's all about new beginnings. And that goes back to that card. It didn't show up in like the main spread, but I talked about it, the fledgling, which is about like almost like a baby, like you're in the baby steps of something. And that's what the Fool is about, those beginning stages before anything even actually happens, and just kind of taking a leap of faith and hoping that everything works out and goes in your favor. And I definitely was picking up on family dynamics with this happy cups, but 10 of Cups here, and just like this energy of feeling like, ooh, there's something that's flipped up. What is this? um the Magician. See, exactly. See, this happened for a reason. As I'm shuffling, I'm like, there's a card that's facing up. You guys are able to bend things at your will. You are magicians. You guys are, um, master freaking manifestors. Like you have the potential to be able to do all those different things. But it's about taking that leap of faith into the unknown, the things that you're not really so sure about, including within yourself, and being able to say, okay, well, this is something that I really want to hone in on a little bit more, and now I have to kind of let go and release old expectations that others have put onto me, and even the ones I've put onto myself in the process. This is really about, kind of stripping away all of those old ways of doing things and beliefs and things like that, so that you can really accept your full authentic self. Yes, exactly. Alchemy. And it is definitely a scary process. Yeah, you have to surrender and walk away from the things that no longer serve you. You have five of swords on the bottom of the deck. It literally says self-sacrifice, surrendering. Um, yeah, just a lot of that type of energy, surrendering and walking away. Let's do maybe a hmm, let's do a cross of truth. So, what's the overall energy for the collective when it comes to what we're seeing here? Tell us a little bit more about that, Spirit. Ooh, another card that a couple of cards actually. These were just in the deck, so I'm gonna put them back, but I just want you guys to see them. Knight of Pentacles, which is about slow and steady wins the race. It's about taking your time. It's about diligence. Very slow moving energy, but you get where you're trying to get over time. Now, what I'm getting with this, because they were right next to each other in the deck, the Emperor, getting two things. It could either be a father figure, might be, something that's been hindering your growth and slowing you guys down. But I'm also getting that this is a time for you guys to take ownership and accountability and just take over your life with a sense of authentic, like, authority. Being able to say, this is what I'm going to do and own that shit. Some of you guys might have Aries in your chart. Yeah, see? The Tower in the middle of the deck. Things had to fall apart to get to this point, and that's perfectly okay. Um, and for some of you, again, going, look, Nine of Cups, like you're realizing you have to look. Just saying, this is just as I'm shuffling, guys. Nine of Cups, Ten of Cups. I haven't even finished shuffling. You guys are looking for that overall intrinsic sense of fulfillment, whereas your family dynamic sometimes might be the thing that hinders the process. And it does happen. It does happen. So just being able to, understand that, and understand that you're not here to please everybody else. Don't work like that. This is your life. Live the way you want to. Live the way you see fit. And if that means that you would like to learn more about these gifts that you possess, because like I said, we all possess them. It's just a matter if we want to use them. So it's like, what do you want to do? As I'm shuffling, I just saw the Hermit. I saw the Justice card. So, yeah. Strength. It's going to take some strength. as the the whole point of this is strengthening your intuitive gifts. But it's like, honor that, right? That inner strength that it's going to take for you to overcome self-doubt and have that sense of willpower to go towards what it is that you want to go towards, right? To be in a higher sense of alignment with self and who you truly are. And that's, I mean, don't let anybody ever take that away from you. We have Seven of Pentacles. So I think you guys have been trying to work a little bit harder on this part of yourself, understanding self more, and also just being more authentic, accepting who you really are, even when people, naysayers, have things to say and, poke fun at you and things like that, or have negative, like just a negative, expectation, demeanor towards you and what you're trying to do. Keep on, practicing something that you align with, whatever that is. And that's going to look different for every single one of us. If that means that you still would like to be in the religious sector, do your thing. If that means that you're more leaning towards like the, spirituality stuff, do your thing. Whatever that looks like to you. Don't let anybody come in and mess that up for you. That's simple. That's simple and that hard, right? Because for some of you, it's, it comes down to like, it's this energy of, I'm getting like a very childlike energy. Some of you, might have been having these different gifts and stuff since you were little. And I said that before, stemming really far back. And it makes it really hard because it's like, okay, well, I want to really put forward this effort into myself. However, and one of those gifts might be intuition. um, you really want to put in that effort into yourself, but at the same time, again, maybe having a hard time because you don't want to let people down, or you feel like you're going to be judged and things like that, so on and so forth. Tell us more. What's maybe a challenge here when it comes to this Seven of Pentacles for the collective, Spirit? Here's the most accurate message. Thank you. Well, it's not going to be for everybody. And I'm noticing my throat chakra is acting all wonky now as I'm saying all this stuff. I said it really early in the reading too, if you guys want to watch this later and just like, recap. But I had said I was picking up on, even though they were talking about clear audience in the card that I had pulled, I was picking up on also like a throat chakra thing, like almost like you have these gifts. One of those gifts might be a clear audience kind of thing, and then you're like afraid to like speak up about it because you don't want to be judged, or people are going to like, look at you like you're weird or crazy or something. For some of you, it could be a father figure. Others of you, it's more so just the fact that, you're just kind of, again, trying to take a sense of charge over your life and put forward that effort for yourself. We have the Wheel of Fortune here on the bottom of the deck. So there are things that are, Jaleesa, hi. Hello. Been thinking about you a lot, and thank you for being my buddy on Finch. And we have some other folks that have come in. I'm hoping that you guys who are popping in, because like I'm not really, like I just kind of pop up and look up from time to time. Most of the time I'm just like really locked in on the cards. So if I don't acknowledge or respond, it's not that I'm ignoring, it's just, I'm locked in. Okay, but I'm so happy to see you guys popping in, and I hope you guys are getting something out of this message. It's a little bit different of a message than what I normally would do in here, but every once in a while I get drawn to do these more powerful, meaningful messages rather than just like a general like energy thing or love readings and stuff. So this is a little bit more geared towards like, again, like that sense of, inner healing and understanding self more, so on and so forth. So yeah, with that said, we were talking about fate earlier, and there, there goes that Wheel of Fortune, right? So certain things are kind of fated to happen a certain way, and all the doubters and non-believers and all that stuff who look down on you for being who you are and stuff like that. And we talked a big time a lot about individuality, and then that card popped up as I said the word. I think the timestamp is around 34 minutes if you guys want to check that out later. So all I'm saying is this. Oh, and Queen, you weren't even here yet, and I was talking about upgrades. See? My collective, they be knowing, they're on it. So it's like Queen just said it. She was talking about, yeah, there's like this upgrade thing going on within myself, and she's highly gifted herself. And ironically enough, what is she talking about? And I said this way early in the reading. I was talking about the system upgrade of what happens with the body, right? You might get physical ailments and shit, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? The doctor's saying I'm fine, or they put me on meds, and I should be okay by now. Here I am 3 weeks later, still with a fucking 103 fever. Damn, they're about to die, but not quite. It's like, but did you die? It's like, it's giving me that. Oh, that shit gets me every time. But anyway, we were talking about that earlier. So all I'm saying, guys, when weird shit like that happens, where like somebody in the collective who wasn't even in the collective earlier in the reading, who is definitely a part of the tribe, says something like that. They weren't even here earlier. They got here a little bit later and said something about the same shit that I was talking about earlier in the reading. Or when I say a word and the same card with the same word comes up. Guys, I'm just saying. So, like I said earlier, someone was like, oh, are your readings guaranteed? I'm like, nope, they're not, but I'm good at what I do. I'm tapped in, so I'm just saying. All right, Spirit, tell us more. Let's get a little more insight about maybe what's going on, maybe consciously for the collective. All right. We have the Justice card. It's like you guys just, there's something that you're meant to do and you want to fulfill that. You want to fulfill it. You want to balance out those scales. Some of you guys might even be going through karmic lessons or already past those karmic lessons, and now it's like you're like, oh, okay, that was part of the lesson. Okay, now I really want to hone in and tap in to the gifts, right? Um, one of the things you might have been learning as a karmic lesson is like self doubt. I'm picking up on self doubt because I keep seeing the Strength card, and we did see it like while we were like shuffling and stuff, and it was on the bottom of the deck and everything. But like I'm picking up on that self doubt being a big one and overcoming that, especially when it comes to you trying to be your more authentic self, right? That's definitely what I'm getting. Tell us more. What's going on behind the scenes, or what might be like the foundation of this? I swear to God, if like the Six of Cups or the Ten of Cups comes out, or Four of Wands, or any of those kind of cards, kind of representing family, or even like a childlike card like the Fool or Page of Cups. Let's just see what comes out. It would be so weird if that were to happen, though. It happens sometimes. Excuse me. Ooh. Wow, so we have the Empress and the Emperor. This is definitely going back to like, this is a mother figure. I had said something about a paternal figure. Now we got a mother figure. So for some of you, a big foundational thing that has impacted this part of your journey and your growth is a maternal figure. If it's not just your mom, it could be both of your parents for some of you. Yeah, and it causes a lot of confusion. Seven of Cups. It causes a sense of mental confusion and even emotional confusion. It's like, well, if they're not going to approve of me, hey, what's up, the mom? What's up? Been a while. Glad to see you here. Glad to see you. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. It's like, I feel like this is you guys. Like, it's almost like you guys feel like, where's that sense of like nurturance? Because as you're trying to give birth to this new version of yourself, you have all of that shit going on in the background, and it's like it causes like just getting angry even and resentment. Be careful with those emotions. I am picking up on something like that. Like all of a sudden I got hot as I started saying that. Like physically I feel warm, and I'm just like, but not in a good way. Because sometimes like it might be like warm, like, oh, someone's giving me a hug or something. No, it feels like, oh, pissing me off. Like it's giving me that. Like you got something that you want to say but you can't, or you say it but then it turns into like a heated argument. I'm getting something like that, disagreements and stuff like that. And it's like all you're trying to do is like be you, be yourself. Yeah, this seems very specific. This is not going to be for everybody. I'm getting a couple messages with this Five of Pentacles here in the middle of the deck. If you just see that real quick. One thing I'm getting is you guys might feel like kind of, I don't know why I'm getting a little bit emotional. Don't start crying on the fucking camera. Michelle, don't fucking do it. But this could just be because I am an empath and I'm picking up on somebody's energy, and whew, you might feel like kind of left out in the cold because of this dynamic, because it's like you want, I'm getting like abandonment issues and stuff like that. Like you really want to like have that sense of, I heard nurturance with this person in particular, probably a mother figure. And it's like I'm getting like a lack of acceptance and stuff like that. And it's like, it really, puts you in a fucked up space. For others, this is where I was saying this is getting really specific now. if there's a sense of like financial reliance with somebody like a mother figure or a paternal figure, um that might be another thing. Like, oh, if you don't do this, I'm getting, especially like somebody who might be a little bit younger, like in college or something like that, or yeah, maybe like, oh, if you don't do this, then we're cutting you off, you won't be in the will. Like, I'm getting some shit like that. Like, I'm getting something like that, and it's like, so it's kind of giving me like a kind of a sense of like financial abuse, and that is a thing. It's giving me something along those lines too. Like I said, that seems very specific. That's not gonna be for everybody, but I did pick up on that. Let's get something about the recent past. What else does the collective need to know at this time? And after these, I'm going to pull maybe one or two cards from a few more decks, and then that's going to be it, because I did pull a lot of decks out that I felt connected to for this reading. And I do feel like they all have messages in them, so I'm not going to go crazy with the other ones, but I do want to get a little bit more insight. Whew. We have Ace of Wands here. That's a nice card. I like that. This is the recent past. So it's giving me like you guys have been feeling very inspired about this part of your, and it actually does literally say inspiration on the card. Like you're feeling inspired about, or have been, in the even in the past, like feeling inspired. You see, I and excited. Like I'm having a hard time getting the words out. Like it's like my mouth is moving faster than the words are, like, or vice versa. Like I feel like, who I feel like right now. For those of you who watch Stranger Things, I love that fucking show. Robin, how she kind of gets like a little bit of like diarrhea of the mouth, and she just like keeps going. That's how I feel right now. And it's like, it's not in a bad way. It's like excited about something, some new goals and things like that that maybe you guys have been wanting to implement in your life, but still don't feel quite confident in it yet. Yeah, see, I'm telling you, it goes back to family, Four of Wands. Didn't I tell you guys that that shit was going to show up at some point in this reading? I felt it and it showed up. Um, that's about like the foundation. So it's like, I feel like, the foundation maybe for these ideas and stuff might have been a little bit rocky. And the reason why is because we have the lovers here. That's about choices. So needing to make a choice about, leaving, that family dynamic behind while you work on, bettering yourself and, doing something that's a little bit maybe unorthodox or something within their belief system, so on and so forth. But yeah, you've been wanting to, move on past it, Eight of Wands. So you guys are trying to make some progress in this part of your life. And, not everybody's going to be on board with it. And that is perfectly fine. Hey, Monica, what's up? For those of you who are resonating with this message, which I hope that you're getting something out of it, I would greatly appreciate if you guys haven't done so already. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new and haven't done so already. All of those things would be super helpful. So, yeah, I know this is a little bit of a different reading. This is not, you know, the typical readings that I do, but I felt guided to, look into this. And I think with us being in a new year, or, a new year on paper, but those of us who know that it's not really until, like around April, springtime. But different conversation. It's okay. I still say Happy New Year and all that stuff. But, those who know. All right. So, yeah, this incoming energy is two cards that just came out. I was picking up on air energy earlier, and we're getting a lot of swords all of a sudden. We have Page of Swords here, which is about curiosity, right? It's about research. Like if this was a love reading, I'd be like, ooh, somebody's stalking you, but that's not what's happening here. This is more so you guys as you're learning about yourselves, right? So this is more like, either going to happen in the near future. It might even be, for some of you, might be more current, but nonetheless, really like kind of studying things, right? So we also have the King of Swords. You're living in your truth or trying to work on that. And your truth is going to come as you guys, you know, dive deeper within yourselves to figure out the things that make you tick, the things that, you feel guided towards, right? As long as it's something that's, healthy and positive, right? Yeah, you have to walk away. Keep getting this energy of walking away from things. Yep. that place of lack that you felt with, family and other people who might kind of be like naysayers and bring you down. Got that Five of Pentacles there again. Yeah, and Queen of Wands, they want you to step into yourself and own that shit. So they want you to get confident. Anything else from this deck? Thank you. King of Cups. They're definitely like, this is giving me kind of this energy of like, well, okay. I don't typically read like the descriptions. I know what the cards mean, but like for some reason, I do feel drawn to read the actual card. It says emotional intelligence, but it also says trust, wealth of knowledge, caring, healing, good advice, someone who understands unconscious motivations, a man in touch, or just a masculine energy is with anybody. Um, a man in touch with his emotional life, a good friend, a mature, emotionally stable person. And I think Spirit is trying to say that you guys are on the verge of becoming that person. Having, especially when I was mentioning way earlier in the reading, I was talking about um, this energy of possible empaths. And, those of you who are empaths, it's really, really hard to remain emotionally intelligent in certain circumstances because you pick up on everybody's energy. It's like, fuck, it's tiring and it's daunting. So to be able to know kind of how to put that bubble around yourself to protect your energy and your emotions and all that stuff, and even protect your, the people around you from your own emotions. Like, no one's perfect, so we all, have our off days and stuff too. It's like, walk into a room and if you're in a bad mood, everybody's mood changes. Like, be careful with that. I try to make sure that I'm very cognizant of, the energy I exude, even if deep down, like, I'm kind of like not in the best place. Like, I try not to let anybody else see it, and I'm actually pretty good at that. It's a blessing and a curse. um, but yeah, being able to just kind of know the difference, I feel like, yeah, don't let your emotions get the best of you and cause a sense of confusion, right? Yeah, they really want you guys to focus on a sense of just overall intrinsic well-being and happiness at this time. Yeah. And also I'm getting focusing on partnerships with the right people. And I think didn't we say something about that earlier? We talked about confidence too more than once. Listening. There was a card, and of course it was, I guess, with, oh, was this it? Yeah, a sense of belonging. Exactly. So, that sense of camaraderie that you build with the right people, the people who are part of your tribe. Um, those of you who know, again, those of you who know, like, you just know, like, you've had those connections with people where, like, you like, damn, I feel like I've known this person forever, and it's a positive thing, like, not a karmic relationship or no bullshit like that, but something actually really good. And you're like, wow, like some of my folks right now, who are here. I have a few right now watching who are a part of my tribe. And, these are people who, I trust and they trust me. And we've connected and we've been building this energy of, having this positive connection within a group dynamic. And it makes doing these readings that much more fun. And I'm just hoping to, keep on growing that and building that so that other people can, also feel like that, feel like they belong to, a group of people who are positive individuals you know, who care about the next person, not judge, right? That's one thing about this channel. I don't judge. Anybody's welcome to watch. As long as you don't come in here trying to be judgmental of yourself, I'm good. You know what I mean? I don't mind entertaining certain conversations sometimes and things like that, like, so on and so forth. So now I'm gonna I did mention that I was kind of picking up on like animal spirit a little bit too. So I'm going to read from this deck. It's called Wild Mystic, and these are really, really cool. And did I not mention something about death earlier? And when we say death, we don't mean actual death. We mean, in a metaphysical way, killing off, in a sense, those things about yourself that you know no longer work, and releasing all of that shit. And they want you to believe in yourself, going back to like that sense of confidence, right? Yeah, it's like a rabbit here. What I would say is like a wasp or a bee or something. Moth. Yeah, they want you to feel inspired. We talked about that too. So it's like Spirits is kind of reiterating the things we kind of already talked about. So I'm going to get like two cards, two or three from here. And then I'm going to read from a couple more decks. Maybe more than a couple. We'll see. That's why I'm going to just maybe pull like two more cards from each deck that I have over here. Just a few more. But, yeah, I don't want to bore you guys or have you stay too long. Inspires here again on the bottom. I'm just saying. Red Jasper. Interesting. What flips? I hate when that happens. Alright, let's shuffle again. Maybe it went back into the deck. That happens sometimes. Like it was about to come out and then Spirit was like, nope. Alright, so we have courage, victory, reveal. And something fell. Deal. Interesting. I wonder what this mean in this context. Alright, so I'm kind of getting... Remember we were talking about like oaths and like kind of just, you know, really making that promise to yourself that, you know, you're gonna do what you need to do for yourself. I'm getting that with this deal part, like especially like with oath, and there were other cards that were very similar to that kind of energy that came out, and they were like back to back. Obedience, right? It's like this is a time to make a deal with yourself about what it is that you want. They want you to have that sense of, especially with all these coming out like this together, like they want you guys to be a little bit more, not a little bit more, but a lot more confident about who you are and what you stand for. You know, show who you really are with reveal here, and that's okay. And that's when you're going to see and feel a sense of victory. But you got to get confident. Picking up on a lot of like wands energy too. Some of you guys might be fire signs. All right, let's get like one more from here. That's very interesting though. I'm getting, there's two cards. Is this two or is this three? These cards are very thick, so it's kind of hard to tell. There's three. Okay. Wow. All right. So a couple of things that I'm getting here. We have disguise, trust, and energy. So a cute little iguana in there, and horse, a hummingbird. All right, so what I'm picking up from these cards right here is one, protect your energy. I said this before. When I see that word disguising is also kind of like putting up a facade, right? A facade around yourself, a bubble around yourself, so that people, you know, don't know who you are. It's almost giving me like trust in yourself to be able to protect your energy against anything and anyone who you can't trust. That's what I'm getting. And so people are able to kind of show who they really are, that sense of like loyalty and things like that that you need to have when it comes to people. Be mindful of how you expend your energy and the people you allow around you. I am also getting being cognizant of how past like traumas and things like that might impact you. I have an elephant here. Sometimes, you know, because of the fact that you might have had issues with others in the past and stuff like that, when it comes to like that sense of trust and things like that, you know, you might shut yourself completely off. It's more about having discernment versus just being, you know, completely cold, you know, and closing yourself off from, you know, people. You know, human interaction and relationships are very important. And it's just more so about, you know, self-preservation in the sense of being cognizant and wise enough to know what kind of energy you're on around you and the warning signs and stuff like that. And that's where having that sense of intuition comes in, right? being able to trust that is what I'm kind of getting. Yeah. You have create here. Interesting. Some of you guys might be trying to create something. You got mystery underneath that. Interesting. Rest. Interesting. That's cool. All right, so I am going to pull from the Shaman's Dream deck. I'm only going to pull like 2. I'm not going to go crazy with the last decks that I'm pulling from, unless Spirit tells me to pull extra. But yeah, I think that we got the gist of the message here. A lot of it does just come down to, you know, self-preservation, protecting your energy from anything that, you know, either clouds your judgment or something along those lines. So on and so forth. Your emotions, keeping those in check. All that stuff is going to matter when it comes to working on, you know, these gifts and what you have within yourself that you possess. Yeah, being teachable. All right, so I'm going to get 2 cards from here. Let's do like 1 more shuffle. 2 more shuffles. There we go. Look, here on the bottom. Wow. Hollow bone, teachability. Some of you guys might have ties to the Native Americans. Let me know if that resonates with anybody. Perfect storm. The courage to step into life. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. We talked about all of this already. And it's just coming right back out. Hey, she is. What's up? Wow, that's crazy. Holy shit. Yeah, that's like that full energy that we were talking about. Being a little bit afraid to do it, but it's time. Needing direction. Yeah, you might be feeling... We have lost in space. It says needing direction. And it came out along with skywriting, the fates. Did I not say that this is... A lot of this stuff is fated to happen exactly the way that's been happening because it's written, it's like written in the stars. Like, this is, you know, again, there is in my opinion, there is like a such thing as like fate, destiny, all that, but we do also play a factor in how that works out for us, because it's kind of like, it gives me like, I'm gonna use this analogy. Those of you who like video games, I used to play different video games as a kid that were like RPG games. And what did she say? Tapping while... Oh, I give you credit for being able to braid your own hair, because whew, I can't really do that. And when I had my locks were like down to my butt. I used to retwist them myself. I maintained them for like 8 years, almost 9 years. And oh my God, like my hands would hurt, but mostly, especially like if I was gonna do like a braid out on my hair, but it would be my fucking shoulders. Be fucking killing me. And I'm just like, yo, I feel like every time I used to do my hair when I had my locks, I feel like I cried almost every fucking time. I'm like, yo, shit fucking hurts. I'm about to cut these shits off. I mean, eventually I did, obviously, but yeah. Oh, see, didn't I say something about you guys being magicians too? Look at this. And the word confidence just keep on showing up. Magician's sword, confidence in your magic. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. Girls and boys. Spirit is like, look, we gonna make sure we reiterate all this shit so that people don't think you're just making shit up. Thank you, Spirit. And these are different decks. I pulled from several different decks and the energy is still the same. Top of the deck, we have Lost Compass, getting back to integrity. Exactly. That's going back to like needing direction, right? Your internal compass is telling you to do something completely different than the other energies around you. And it's time to listen to that inner voice that resounds. Okay. Detox, repairing the... Thank you, Spirit. Repairing the body, mind, and spirit. then we talk about having to take care of that physical vessel and all that stuff, and you might be feeling physical ailments and stuff, especially as you're growing, and wow, I'm just saying. Oh goodness. You would look cute with a bald head. I actually I thought about doing that before, but what I typically have done anytime I've cut my hair, I let it grow a little bit at least, just so I have something to play with, and then go from there. But a low cut be looking dope, especially like getting nice and like little designs and shit. Like I definitely thought about doing that a couple times. My little tiny ass head. I actually have the head shape for it. So, but anyways, let's see. All right, I have three more decks here that I want to pull from, and then we're gonna be done. I'm gonna pull from this one next. I'm gonna pull like three cards from this one. I want to see if Spirit has any insight on what like the main spiritual gifts that you guys have. It's gonna be different for everybody, but let's just see what Spirit has to say. So let's get three cards from here, and then there'll be two more cards I'm gonna decks I'll pull from, and that will be the end of the reading. I haven't wore a wig in like almost 20 years. Because I was a fan, like even before like the really nice lace fronts, I used to wear some wigs back in the day. And like pretty good ones. And especially my little China bang and like the little bob. That was my look for a bit. That or like the wet and wavy. That was my thing for a minute. And then I had started rocking my hair, and I like it was relaxed, but yeah, I like had cut it like in the Halle Berry cut, and grew it out, got knocked up, put braids in it, grew it out some more, and then it was like down the middle of my back by the time I had my son. And then from that point on, I just been playing with my hair. So like I said, it was almost 20 years ago. But yes, I love a nice pixie cut. I love a nice pixie cut. Oh man. All right, bottom of the deck, and this showed up even while I was shuffling too. Every day I'm shuffling. Um, mediator. I love this. Assists and guides others to reach a resolution. Peacemaker, balance, and harmony. Some of you guys might have Sagittarius in your chart. It's picked up on. But yes, so you guys are meant to help other people. So that empath energy that we were picking up on, I mean, to be a mediator, you have to be that energy because you help other people through their situations and circumstances. You help them find a sense of peace and balance within yourself. Now, in the process of that, make sure you're having it within yourself, because again, that empath energy is part of it. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if it shows up in this deck. There's that fine line, so just making sure you balance it out. All right, so let's get three cards from here. Spirit, what are some of the most common spiritual gifts that some of the collective might have, and or might be dormant that they are going to start, working on? Let's see. Wildling, this is like the fledgling card from earlier. And then we also were talking about spirit animals too. You connect with nature and natural environments. Nice. Staying true to your authentic self. Exactly. Wow, guys. Oh, I love it. It's really going back to like that spirit animal thing too. Some of you guys might really love animals and connect with animals. I just like kind of saw like an animal shelter, and then I also saw like an animal hospital. I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever done any of that stuff or working on farms. I'm picking up on somebody who might have that in their background or in their history. Interesting. It's very cool. Like I'm getting like volunteer work at like animal shelters and things like that. Or like animals just love you. You go to someone's house and it could be like a dog that hates everybody, but then all of a sudden the dog's like super tame with you. Something like that. Channeler, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. You share comfort and guidance to others, conveying thoughts and energy from source. So one of the things that you guys might be really good at is like picking up on the energy of other people and being able to kind of relay a message. I know somebody who is like this, relay a message to somebody in the moments that they need to hear those messages. And those messages at those times are coming directly from source. So, and it could be, if she's still here, we talked about it many times. It could be very, very off putting because it's like, wait, I have to say what to this person? I don't even know who this person is. Like, no. They're going to be like, what the hell is this bitch talking about? But, like, if she's here, yeah, she's a messenger herself and channeler slash messenger, and there's times where she's in a room and she knows she has to deliver a message to somebody, and she's like, oh, I have to do it, I have to say it. And I'm just like, oh my god, that has to be so nerve-wracking. Like with me, it's more like if a person asks me something, then I might pick up on something, but like, I use different tools and stuff, but and I can always acknowledge when there are people with more advanced gifts than me. I think that I have probably some blockages that I have to work on so that I can really hone in on my gifts some more. So there might be some messages in here for myself too. Um, but yeah, like I said, I know some very gifted people, and yeah, some of you guys are meant to do kind of what I'm doing right now. We have diviner, which is somebody who like works with the like different tools, and I just said something about, some people need, or not need, but use tools like myself. I use cards, I use crystals, I use pendulums, um dowsing rods, like I use a whole bunch of stuff. So like candles. So some of you guys are also in that same, boat like me. And some of you guys might be tarot readers or something, or use this as a form of, entertainment, but in a positive way. And it says, performer, entertainment is your thing. You enjoy expressing your creativity and the attention you get from others. Now, with those coming out together, I'm getting that, some of you guys, again, might do something like what I do. But now I will say this, the diviner card was in the reverse. So I'm getting a message with that. If you're going to use divination as a tool, by the love of God, whatever you believe in, don't be somebody who's just doing it for entertainment purposes. Like, actually utilize this as a true gift, because there are a lot of people who they do this just so they could get, just, it's content creation for them, and that's it. They don't give a shit if they're helping somebody, or they want money and things like that. I do this for, for free. Yes, you can book a reading with me, but even then, like, my prices are very low. So it's like, or at least in comparison to some people who charge hundreds of dollars for a reading, or $150, $100. Like, not to say that $100 is bad. Like, it depends on, how long the reading and stuff is to me, but that's neither here nor there. But what I'm getting at is, don't just be a performer or put on a show for, people like doing what I do here and stuff like that. Like, do something meaningful with it at the same time. I'm getting something like that. Like, use your gifts in a way that it could be fun for people, but it's also informative and helpful. I hope that makes sense. Seeker on the bottom of the deck. It says, always questioning why, searching for truth, exactly, longing for changes, thinking about the future. Yeah. You guys like this, again, seeing past, just the, this, very 3D, like you're trying to see past that. And I think that's awesome. We have scribe here, record keeper of time, divinely guided to write down important events to save for the future. I'm also getting maybe like automatic writers. My friend Lati, she actually does that, and it's pretty cool because she'll get messages that way, and I'm like, whoa. And we have mediator here again in the middle of the deck. All right, so two last decks to read from. I think I'm going to pick the ancestor messages deck first. I think that, a lot of times these gifts are passed down. There's karmic debts and all that stuff that could be passed down too, in the bloodline. So with that said, I believe that it's also, our ancestors that pass it down as well. I'm getting some of you guys, before I even start reading, might come from like a line of healers, shamans, witch doctors, witches, you know, when I say witches, I don't mean like in a negative way, because there's people who come out here saying stupid shit. So I actually did ask me that earlier. I just didn't respond. But they were like, "Are you a witch?" I'm like, "No, I'm not a witch. Just I read cards. They're a tool. I could deliver this message without even looking at the cards if I wanted to. But yeah. So anyway." Oh my god, what's here when I freaking split the deck? Medicine guardian. Didn't I just say something about like a healer? Um, like that's crazy. Medicine guardian, be open to healing information. So some of you guys, I think, also in the process of receiving this information, you're going to be able to do something with it to help others. We have warrior, be fearless and stand strong. Absolutely. Going back to confidence, right? We saw a lot of stuff about that. A lot of stuff. So from different decks. So just saying. All right. So shuffle a few more times, and then we'll get like 2 or 3 from here, and then we'll get 2 or 3 from the last deck, and that'll be the end of the reading. I do hope that this has been resonating and that's been helpful, so on and so forth. High Priestess. Is it here? Of course not. I hate when that happens. Like when a card shows up, but it's like in the deck, but not like on the spread. But we had saw the High Priestess earlier, and we have High Priestess here. Harness. And I used the word harness a few times throughout this reading. I use that word sometimes, but not as much as I used it tonight. Harness mystic power. Woo, you guys are some bad motherfuckers. I love that. Some of you might have ties to Egypt. Let me know if that resonates. But I picked up on that. That's so cool. I know, right? So entertaining. Oh, man. And again, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys very, very much. My moderators for always holding it down. Love y'all. Shield Maiden. Make plans and focus. And we talked about that. Like, we talked about this energy of you guys, you know, you have like this sense of like, yes, there's something I really want to do and I'm going to go for it. And you kind of go back and forth with it, wishy-washy. They're like, execute that shit. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Another one of my favorite readers, like Clarity Empress. Some of you guys follow her too. So she's actually live right now. We're almost done. So if you guys want to check her out after this, or if you feel like you want to see what she's got going on and come back to this another time, that'll be cool. All right. We have She-Wolf. Unleash the wild within. Like it. Like it. Seer. We saw seeker, now we see seer. See beyond the current situation. You guys are seers too. That's really fucking cool. So I'm getting like also like clairvoyant energy. Retreat and recharge with the hermit here. We talked about taking care of the physical body in more than one deck now. So they really are putting some emphasis on that. Especially when we're talking about that whole like, protecting your energy kind of thing. But excuse me. Yep. We have stag. Trust and thrive. Sorry, friends. Maybe I should take both of the cards because it's like they don't want to separate from each other. All right. We have mountains. Stand your ground. Hell fucking yeah, stand your ground. This is on the top of the deck, by the way. Shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. See, there's a reason why they were stuck like that. If I didn't like really rip those cards apart, there's nothing like sticky on them or anything. I don't know why it was like that. But they were, I just heard stuck like glue. They're like, listen. This shit's gonna, they want this message to really stick with you so that you can do what you need to do to really be this person who you're meant to be. Some of you might resonate with, if you are into like spirit animals, some of you might resonate with the idea of really relating to wolves, eagles. I'm also getting maybe tigers. Very interesting. Hmm. It's from the top. Let's see. Middle of the deck. Couple that kind of wanted to come out together. Guardian angel, you are not alone. Some of you guys might be seeing feathers. We also have sun. Enjoy success and happiness. Like they kind of wanted to come out together. So I'm showing y'all both. But yeah, they want you guys to be happier, like with yourself. That intrinsic happiness, because we saw like what was it? It was the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups in the middle of the deck. Like when I was shuffling, and they were right next to each other. That doesn't happen very often. So the 9 of Cups would be representing, your overall wish fulfillment, what you want to do for yourself. Whereas in the context of how the cards were coming out, that 10 of Cups was more talking about the happiness of family, which family, of course, is a beautiful thing, right? Like, but if it's deterring you from your overall happiness, that's where it becomes a problem. So being able to acknowledge, okay, you know what, this is just not, this ain't working for me, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Look what's here on the bottom of the deck. I kid you not, guys. We saw individuality show up more than once in this reading. Look what's on the bottom. I didn't even shuffle yet. Individuality. I'm just saying. Where is it? And that was the card that came out while I was saying the word. I believe it, if I remember correctly, it was right around the 34-minute mark. I kid you not. I was shuffling and the card comes out as I say the word. The shit was crazy. So this is not something I could just make up on camera. You know what I mean? That's why I like lives, because you guys see everything. So they really want you guys to focus on that. All right, Spirit, let's get maybe 3 cards to close out the reading, and that'll be it. For those of you who were able to pop in, even if it was just for a moment, I really greatly appreciate all of you. Even those who were like putting stupid comments in the comment section way early in the reading, they all kind of cleared out, thankfully. And now we got the real, genuine people watching, the ones who really do want to, grow and work on themselves, not the naysayers. So we have companionship. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. This card was technically in the reverse in the deck, and I don't think there's really much intuition on the bottom. There's not really too many cards in this deck that would be in the reverse. I'm pretty good with not doing that. But the fact that it is, there's some important emphasis on that. And remember I was talking about elephants earlier too? Elephants here again. They're basically saying be careful of how you expend your energy, and we talked about that earlier, because your presence is a gift, but that gift can become a gift and a curse when you got people taking advantage of you or making you feel like shit about yourself. Because on the bottom of the deck we have intuition. It says each person's road to the inner Lord, God is within always, is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside, and I talked about that earlier, didn't I? That's that clear audience. And sense moment to moment what's needed. What? How is... I love when the messages come back full circle like this. Wow, I'm getting goosebumps. Whew. That's something. Guidance is here, and it was in the reverse as well. When you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have fixed a star to follow. Have a fixed star to follow. Remember we were talking about like feeling lost? We talked about that earlier. Let's see if I can find the card that was talking about that. Because of course it's probably one of the ones that were like in the deck but didn't actually come out. I hate when that happens. Well, those of you who are here, you know that I'm not making up. But we did talk about feeling a sense of like maybe feeling lost and needing to kind of find that inner compass again to go towards where, there it goes. Like it is still here. Yeah. Needing direction. Needing direction. Wow. So that inner compass, make sure you follow that and let spirit guide you where you're meant to go. You will get all the signs and synchronicities. Karma, we talked about karmic lessons and all that stuff, the web we weave, and you know, things get passed down and all that stuff. Um, there's nothing from a past life that can't be addressed in the current life. Exactly. So this is definitely about like learning lessons and things like that. And we did talk about that before. So bottom of the deck we have loss. Not lost, but loss. Sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the egos. Interesting. And it kind of goes back to like that Five of Pentacles we were talking about, that sense of feeling, loss, not lost, but loss, like, the abandonment and things like that of, people you put that faith and trust to make you feel, a sense of nurture. In this case, we're talking about, our own parents and family that, might not put us in the best of circumstances in that sense. But here on the top of the deck, we have freedom. I no longer want this fiery ring of resentment to block the good. Release me from its bonds. Who was here when I was talking about feeling anger and resentment about this situation? Let me know in the comments who was here at that time, because that's fucking crazy, because I literally said something about that. Breaking yourself free from those chains that bind you when it comes to resentment. Gotta let that shit go. You can't be hating people or being super fucking mad at people. Come on now. Spirit. Wow. Didn't I say something about hummingbirds too? There's a hummingbird on this picture as well. It says faith. Miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I can imagine. Whew. There are hummingbirds here, and there's also a lotus. That's my brand's logo, because it represents enlightenment. Whew. All that knowledge that you guys also have picked up on just from doing what you've been doing. Like, oh my goodness, guys, wow. This was powerful. I'm happy I went with this particular reading, because I could have went with anything. I could have went with anything. I could have said, oh, let's do a love reading. I was like, no. No, thank you. I do those too, but I try to kind of, focus mostly on things that are like healing and helpful, in the sense of, not to say love readings can't be helpful, but things that are going to help you on a more spiritual level. That's what I try to, mostly show on here. So with that said, whoo, guys, those of you who resonate with this reading, and if you caught it a little bit late, you might want to watch it from the beginning, because there's so many synchronicities. It's kind of creepy. And right around the 34-minute mark, when I said a word and the same exact card came out as I said the word, that shit was wild. It happens all the time, but when it happens, it's like, it's so weird. It gets me every time. I've been doing this for so long, and it still gets me. But anyways, you guys got y'all some powerful motherfuckers. You guys need to start giving yourselves more credit for that, and allow yourselves to live more authentically, and be your truest version of yourself, no matter who has something to say. Don't even matter who that person is. Family, friends, foes, whatever. And it's time to, really do what is best for yourself at this time, when it comes to this part of the journey, because this is a part of the journey. This is a part of your growth. So they just want you guys to be aware of that, and also um, line yourself up in situations where you can have the ability to meet people who are more like yourself too. Building that sense of community and camaraderie is a blessing, as well, as we're doing here on this channel and other channels as well, that I've met some of, my subscribers there. They come over here, like, each one teach one. We're all helping each other, and it's a beautiful thing. So with all that said, guys, I love you guys. Try to catch it from the beginning when I post it. And again, if you're new to the channel, I hope that you guys like what you saw here and got something out of it, and you felt like it was helpful, and this is a nice little space for you to, kind of get acquainted and whatnot. Hi, mama. Hey, baby. And yeah, you know, we're slowly growing, slowly building. So let's keep it going. And yeah, so I love you guys. And until next time, you guys have a great rest of your night, or whenever you watch this, a great rest of your day. And until next time, my loves. Mwah. Good night. Bye.